Alright, if you have something like this where you have a symbol, that symbol tells you the operation. So it's explained in the next, after the equal sign. So A something B means that you take A times B is what it says on top, and then you subtract A and B on the bottom. So if we were to apply that over here, that symbol tells us that we multiply the two numbers on top. So multiply them on top, and then subtract them on the denominator on the bottom. And it does matter the order. That could have said B minus A, but it says A minus B. So let's do that here. So A symbol 5 means that we multiply them on top, so A times 5. And then on the bottom we do the first number minus the second number, so A minus 5. And it says that that equals 4. So if I know that equals 4, now I just have an equation to solve, and I'm solving for A. Now I don't like the way this looks. I can't just cancel these A's. That doesn't work. That would only work if we were doing multiplication on the top and the bottom. So I do want to get rid of a variable in the denominator. You do not want variables in the denominator. So if I multiply by A minus 5 and multiply by A minus 5, and I'm multiplying by that whole thing, so I'm going to use parentheses. When I do that, that's going to cancel this because it's A minus 5 over 1, so the top and bottom, they cancel. It's like you're dividing by A minus 5 here, and then you're multiplying by A minus 5 here. So these actually just cancel. And then what property do we have over on the right? Distributive. So 4 times A and 4 times negative 5. 4 times A is 4A. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. And then over here we still have a 5A that's left. So 5A is how I can rewrite that. I want to solve for A, so I want my variables on the same side. So I need to subtract 4A, because I want to move that whole thing over. And that would be negative 20 equals A. And I've solved it. That's what it wanted. The value of A, which is negative 20. Alright, I'm going to give you guys one to try on your own, and then check it with me. Alright, here's your question. Go ahead and pause the video and try it on your own. So if x star y equals xy over y minus x, and x star 2 equals negative 1, what's the value of x? And now for your solution. Alright, did you get the first step right? You're supposed to take the first number and multiply it by the second number, as denoted by xy. And then you're supposed to take the second number and subtract the first number, as denoted by y minus x. So 2 minus x goes on the bottom, x times 2 goes on the top. We set it equal to negative 1, and then we don't like x to be on the bottom, so we multiply by 2 minus x. And times 2 minus x. And since we want to multiply by the whole thing, we put it in parentheses. And these 2 minus x's cancel because we're dividing and multiplying. And that's the inverse operation. So we just have 2x equals, and I'm distributing, so negative 1 times 2, negative 1 times negative x. That's really a negative 2, and a negative 1 times a negative 1x is a positive 1x, or positive x. So multiplying by negative 1 really just changes the sign of the numbers that are inside. Alright, so I want to get x on the same side, so I'm going to subtract x. That'll get rid of my x, and I have 2x minus 1x is x equals negative 2, and that's what we wanted to solve for. What is x?